How many times a week would you say you skip breakfast?
Now I don't. For the
Okay.
last for the last 3 weeks, I haven't been skipping breakfast. Before, I really used to skip breakfast, like it was my like it's not in my program. It
Gotcha.
wasn't into my program. It was like I wake up, I do my stuff because of the ketones. I mean, I'm getting the ketones working for me, so
Right.
I am just getting younger and younger, right? If you're
Okay.
using
Now
ketones.
explain that for the folks who don't know exactly what that is, like me.
The ketones.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you remind me when I get to ahead? Because there will be
Gotcha.
just getting to say. So,
Gotcha.
skipping breakfast has effect and starts with, I'll start with the weight, regulations of the weight. So when we wake up or when you wake up, your system is primed to use glucose and to use energy, okay? Because
Hmm.
we have been sleeping. And so the insulin, it's like you have insulin sensitivity higher in the morning and it drops as you go during the day.
Okay.
It's new, right?
Yeah.
Meaning, like when you wake up, that insulin sensitivity, for those who don't know, insulin sensitivity is like you have insulin and you can get the glucose uptake very fast. Okay.
Hmm.
It goes down as the day goes by. So if you miss your breakfast, you're eating your lunch maybe after midday, the insulin is already low or lower, meaning that the food that you're going to take, it's going to spike the blood glucose more than if you had taken the breakfast.
Ah.
You don't have that sensitivity as in the morning. So that one can overcome the what do you mean? It's going to affect the hormones. So the
Hmm.
hormone supposed to help you have the appetite and uptake the energy in the morning is going to stay there the whole morning. The appetite, but you're not
Right.
feeding. So it's also going to affect leptin because you have two hormones that one is telling your brain, I'm hungry, give me something. And the other one, when you eat, it tells the brain, okay, we are fed, please shut the appetite, we don't want to eat. Now, when the hormone of appetite stays up and you're not eating, when you eat, the hormone of stopping the appetite will not be shut down. You'll end up eating more. And sometimes I know for myself, I've done that. Like you miss breakfast, and when you're eating lunch, you're like, I'm compensating because I missed the
Right.
breakfast. But it's fact that the hormones are making you eat more because they are not responding the way they are supposed to respond normally if you take your breakfast.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
And so that alone would make you keep on adding more weight because you're eating more and the insulin is not working as better as it should be. Okay.
Right.
The other thing is also the cortisol. Cortisol is high in the morning. When we wake up, we have that cortisol high in the morning because you're waking up. It's like awareness. And if the food is not coming, you're going to start breaking muscles to feed your cells.
Huh.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find that when in the morning, normally, usually I'd be headed to the gym working out.
Yeah.
But when I don't eat breakfast first thing in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
I wait until after I work out.
Okay.
I feel better. I feel better that way.
You feel better. And I
Yeah.
also, like I say, most of us do that. But inside yourselves, they're not feeling better.
Why is
Because
that?
okay, for men, okay, because you didn't eat, right? You wake
Hmm.
up, you don't have energy. You don't have energy to consume. So your cells must get somewhere to feed themselves from. So they're going to get the muscles. Either you can get the fats or you can get the muscles, whichever is much easier. However, there is caveat. Your body can't break fat if you have high cortisol,
Uh-huh.
because
Okay.
cortisol it's a hormone that also helps the body to keep the fat, to store fat.
So you saying it's not good to wait until after you work out? Because
Now you're supposed.
got to be honest with you, I feel great every single morning,
Mhm.
and I just go get it.
The
And
fact here
after
is
my workout, I'll eat.
the thing is you don't need to eat the whole meal. Okay,
No, no,
you can
it's not even.
you
Sometimes
just
I'll have a smoothie or
yeah,
something light, nothing heavy at all.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
before you do it or after? What do you mean? Before you do, you eat something
After
light.
I do it
Okay,
after. Yeah.
even after you don't eat light, you don't eat heavy meal.
Nah, at all. I
Okay,
don't do heavy meals.
who is
I don't
advising you?
like the way a heavy meal make me feel. It makes me feel sluggish, and I don't do
then
heavy meals.
then 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 it's not about the heavy meal, it's how you're nourishing yourself, because you slept, you went to the gym, you did the workout, then you're not eating enough food. That means your body is in a catabolic, it's feeding itself.
Okay, I get it.
Okay.
All I can say is I feel great,
Yeah, me
but I
too,
get
me
it. I
too,
get it.
me too,
I get it.
me too. I was like, but I feel very energetic when I go out and I run. I do everything that I'm doing. I'm lifting the weights, and I'm come back, and I'm not feeding myself, and I feel
Right,
awesome. But
right.
somehow there is something that is paying the price for you feeling that greatness. It's not just because of the thin air.
I get it.
Yeah.
Leave
So
it to Cat. Leave it to Catherine, ladies and gentlemen. She will bust my bubble.
okay. The
Go
other
ahead.
thing that is affected is blood sugar and insulin. So breakfast serves as the first signal to
Hmm.
refuel and regulate your metabolism.
Okay.
So it assures the body like everything is okay. You can now transition from night to the day.
Hmm.
Okay. So when you skip the breakfast, we have said the insulin is already going down by the lunchtime when you're eating the meat, and it's going to spike the glucose.
Hmm.
So this is also going to make the pancreas to overwork, because now you're not
Ah,
responding well to the insulin. I mean, you're less insulin sensitive. The
right.
pancreas has to keep on producing the insulin.
Right.
And that can be dramatic, especially for women who have PCOS or insulin resistant.
Okay.
The other one I talked about is cortisol. Cortisol follows a natural, like, what you can say, a day rhythm that we call the circadian rhythm. So I
Right.
said the cortisol is high in the morning, and it drops as the day goes by. And so the cortisol helps to regulate energy and blood sugar. So skipping the breakfast, the cortisol is high, and you continue to break down the muscles for energy, especially for those who have less fat, who have less body fat, because the body has to sustain itself. It has to get
Right.
energy from somewhere. So the first, it's going to be muscles. Okay. And I understood also, like for us women, we have tendencies of storing fat. And as I said, when you have that cortisol, it's not going to let you use that fat. It's going to
Right.
help. You're going mostly to use the muscles. So when women sometimes can miss these meals and skip breakfast and feel they have lost weight, may mostly might be you lost muscles, not the fat, because you didn't get to burn the fat.
Right.
Because the
I got
body
a
has sorry, the body has some conditions that are supposed to be met for it to go and pull the fat from the cells.
I got a question for you, real quick. I don't know how it is in France, but here in the States, women are always complaining about they're unable to lose weight quick. What's the difference, and why do men lose weight faster than women. Like a man could actually say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. And just like that, boom, it's gone.
That's what I just said. Because as women, we store fat
Okay.
very easily as energy, and men store muscles as energy. So
Okay.
when you go run, you might just go to use that, and you're going to burn the muscles and have that energy uptake. Well, as we're going to struggle, the fat is still there, and as I say, the body has to create some conditions so that the fat can be burned.
Right.
There is also something that the man's body is more controlled. I mean, women are more controlled by hormones versus
Mhm.
men. So there are some hormones that are going to make the burning of the fat less, losing weight less easier.
Mhm.
And also, there is something that we sometimes people forget is if you have a toxic body, like you have lived in a place in a toxic environment, the accumulation of toxins in the body are going to be stored in the fatty cells. Okay, and so when you want to lose fat, when you want to burn that fat, the body is like, I can't release these toxins into the system. So you're trying to lose fat, but the body is like, I can't lose fat because I am holding these toxins inside. So most of the times, to lose weight, you need to go through detoxification so that you can help the body to remove and release the toxins, and then it can, you know, it's kind of be a way of preventing itself. It keeps the toxins into the cells, the fatty
Gotcha.
cells. Yeah. So when
Okay.
the cortisol is up for a long time, it can affect the thyroid, which is the hormone that really controls the metabolic state for us humans.
Mhm.
And we say also it's going to reduce insulin, leading to craving. I think there are a lot of people who feel like if you miss that breakfast during the day, you're going to eat more sugary stuff. You're craving food.
Okay.
Okay. And you might feel so tired during the day because you just missed the morning. But once
Right.
again, meaning missing one breakfast is not the issue. It's the fact that when you put that as a habit, like breakfast is not your thing, you don't eat it. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So the other one is hormonal health in women. There is the hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis. It's called HPO. It's a term that I don't know that much, which controls fertility and ovulation. And it's also responsible of estrogen production. And estrogen is very sensitive to energy. So when your body has no food, the brain is going to shift the the conservation, and protect the body to from using more
Right.
energy. So this
So the
can
brain goes into survival mode.
the body is like we are not having nutrients, so we are going to it's like we normally say, for those who believe that we evolved, because there are so two ways. It's either you came directly from God and you are dropped here, or you evolved from apes, right?
Right.
For those who believe that we evolved through running away, food being scarce because of maybe weather, famine, a lot of, for those who are in the north hemisphere, it's because of a lot of glacier, meaning a lot of winter. Okay,
Right.
so that those things, those genetic material we have, when the food was scarce, and the body will just prevent itself. And so when sometimes you miss food, the body is just going to put itself into that, oh, we're in scarcity, so we are going to, either when you eat, that's what we said again in the beginning, when you eat, you store more, because the body doesn't know if it's going to get the next meal. So it's just like,
Right.
oh,
I get it.
this is the only meal we are getting, we are going to put to keep and hold into it,
We're gonna preserve. Yeah, I get it.
reserve it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is now the other one is cognitive function. Your brain primarily works with glucose. Now we come to the ketones, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are human beings who use the brain that uses glucose as the fast fuel. Okay. However, if you don't eat for certain time, your brain is not going just to stay there looking for, without any energy. It's going to use ketones. And ketones comes up when you stay for a certain time without eating. That could be from 16, 18 hours going up. You're going to be in the ketones.
Right.
It's the body burning the fat because it doesn't have any glucose.
Right.
Okay. And for example, when people say I'm fasting to go into ketones, let's say you can fast, say like the first 24 days, you might not get completely into ketones because you're using the glucose that is in the system.
Right.
And it's when you finish with the glucose that then now the liver is going to create other glucose from the fat that it has stored. So you are in ketones. Okay.
Gotcha.
So skipping breakfast affects the way the brain is functioning. And so the research has found that people who regularly skip breakfast, they have signs of neurodegeneration, especially in old people. It
Mm-hmm.
also found that those, even the population globally as young or old, you perform less well when you don't have that fast meal.
Gotcha.
Skipping breakfast is also associated with the risk of depression, stress, and psychological distress, low cognition performance, and also ADHD. Okay. I'm going back to the hormones. There are several studies that have been done on young women, and it was found that women who skip breakfast, they end up having painful periods or sometimes the absence of periods. So that is affecting women's health. Immunofunction. Your immunofunction runs on both the nutrients and timing. So it needs vitamins, minerals, amino acid, glucose, and follows a
Mm-hmm.
circadian rhythm. So in the morning, you have natural killer cells activated. These are the ones that are going to protect you. They are small anti-inflammatory. And when you don't eat breakfast, you're going to have more pro-inflammatory cytokines. Cytokines are the cells that are coming to, they are messages. So
Mm-hmm.
just missing breakfast can make you have that inflammation and making your body more fragile to get infections.
Gotcha.
Okay. Another one, surprising, cardiovascular health. Your heart depends on the signs from the hormones, such as insulin, cortisol, and adrenaline, and as well as nutrients that are going to regulate the blood pressure, cholesterol, and vascular health. When you skip breakfast, the cortisol and adrenaline remain elevated. This hormone constricts the blood vessels and raises heart rate
Mm.
and also blood pressure.
Right.
Okay. So prolonged morning cortisol increases sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system is where you are on flight or flight mode, like you're intense, you're stressed, you want to defend yourself,
Right.
versus parasympathetic, where you are resting and you're digesting. Fasting in the morning increases triglyceride and also cholesterol in the blood. That one you're doing to know. Both of which leads to cardiovascular risk.
Mm-hmm.
Skipping breakfast reduces heart rate variability There's a sign that the heart is less flexible. And over time, this can lead to hypertension and also heart disease. Now, this is so scary. Research shows breakfast keepers have 27% higher risk of coronary artery disease and 21% risk of stroke.
Really?
Yes. And this is the worst. And higher all causes mortality even after adjusting for lifestyle factors. Wow.
So pretty much what you're saying, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Wow.
that was like, oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is not like I read one paper, I read different papers.
Right, right, right.
And I also listen to researchers and doctors, and you like, yeah, breakfast is something. Sleeping
Mhm.
and circadian rhythm. So circadian rhythm is the way we fall, the morning, the daylight, and the night. So our
Mhm.
body is a 24 clock. It follows the light and the night.
Right.
And study shows that those who miss breakfast, they sleep shorter. They have a less sleeping cycle. I didn't get a lot of the reasons why, but mostly it could be because of melatonin. When you wake up, the cortisol goes up and it drops during the day. And in the afternoon, the melatonin, the hormone that helps you to sleep well, starting to
Right.
raise up. So if you eat late in the afternoon or late dinner, when your melatonin is going up, you're like disrupting the the way the system is supposed to function. And so instead of the melatonin going up, now you have food that you have to digest, or the food, the body has to deal with
Right.
something in a way to deal with that food. So it's going to affect the way you sleep. Okay. Another one is cancer. Skipping breakfast is suggested to increase risk of cancer, especially gastrointestinal cancers. A study followed people for 22 years, mostly, and they found that there were people who got these cancers. Most of them skipped breakfast. This
Wow.
could be mostly due to circadian misalignment, which affects the gut microbiome. Okay, let's talk about the gut microbiome. So, for those who don't know, the gut microbiome are microbes that live inside your um, large colon, okay, large intestines. You have some, you have in the mouth, you have on your face, they are everywhere. But when we talk about the gut microbiome, we're talking specifically or about those who are living in the long intestine, the large intestine or the long colon. So these microbiomes, they are the ones that helps us to survive this world, actually, because what we eat, they affects what them, and then them they produce some substances that affect our health. They can create vitamins, and here they, when we talked about the cancer, is because the microbes that are fed during the morning, they produce what we call short chain fatty acids, and one of them is butyrate. And butyrate is more important in helping the gut lining, the healing and of the gut lining. The gut is lining, we are talking about the small intestine where the food is being absorbed. And at this place is also where lies your immune system. And when we don't have that butyrate, the gut lining can be torn by the food we eat, by the stress and other stuff. And
Right.
when that gut is torn, that's what we are talking about, leaky gut. So when the morning meal is skipped, the bacteria that produces the short chain fatty acid, which one of the things they produce is butyrate, they are not fed. And so that affects almost the whole system. And that's where most of the cancer cases are coming up. Like that's what was related to. Okay. I didn't say that's where the cancer comes from. It's like when breakfast is missed and related to cancer, mostly it's because of these microbes that haven't been fed during the morning hours.
Right.
Okay. Now, the last one I have, which was really astonishing, is the bones. We never think about the bones, do we?
Never. We
And
really
so
don't.
you and I, we are like, I feel good. I ran, and I'm feeling the energy and all that stuff. However, during the bones are just like if they are living tissue and they need to be fed. So when we sleep, the bones goes what do we call this? A renewal system, kind of. So they undergo renewing, and you can lose bones and also form bones at the same time at night. Okay,
Hmm.
the bone breakdown mostly happens early in the morning. There is a test is called CTX that measure how much the bone breakdown is happening. It's measured through the urines, and it's
Right.
found mostly during the morning hours. Now, why are the bones mostly affected? Is because when we are sleeping and when we are not eating. Imagine you eat your breakfast, you're going to wait, for example, you eat your breakfast at 7 o'clock, then you're going to eat at 1 o'clock or maybe midday. Then from midday, you're going to eat maybe at 7 p.m., right? For some people, most of people, right?
Right.
Between these hours that you're not eating, there are some organs that need nutrients. And one, your brain, your heart, your liver, and the nerves. So calcium is very important. We always say calcium is very important for the bones, which is one case, yes, but not always, not only. Calcium is needed for these organs to function. And when you're not eating, when you're sleeping, the body has to pull calcium from the bones. So when we are told calcium is better for your bones, it makes them stronger. But actually, it's you also need to store that calcium in your body so that those moments you're not eating, the body can pull that calcium out. So you wake up at 4 o'clock and you're going to have your meal at midday. Do you know how much bones you have been losing?
Wow.
Calcium, I mean
Think it.
calcium. That it has to be brought. And so it's not just pulling the calcium from the bones; it's breaking the bones. It's not like it's breaking at a higher rate, but it has to break the bones to get the calcium. So why is it eating in the morning? It's important. You break that process of bone breaking down because you now bring the nutrients, you bring the calcium that the body needs to survive, and you save the calcium in the bones. So bones are like our bank for the calcium. Okay, and the less food you eat. Now imagine you eat at lunchtime. You eat 2 meals a day. If you miss the breakfast, right? You're going to eat two
Right.
meals a day. How much calcium are you going to stack in that? And calcium is the last thing that people are thinking. We are mostly thinking about, oh, I need to eat more proteins, for example, because
Yeah,
I
which
need
is
to
not
build my
good.
muscle. Well, we need the proteins, but actually you
Uh,
need more of that calcium because you need to store it. So when you're not eating, the body can come back and pull that calcium without
pull from it. Yeah.
without you being depleted. So me personally, what I found is when I'm skipping breakfast or I skip one meal, I
Mm.
find I have to be very intentional on what I am eating because I need to bring a lot of nutrients, and I have no place to have empty calories coming in. So I'm
Right.
not going to eat food that are not going to help me with nutrients. Now you imagine calcium is one of the nutrients that we really need a lot. Okay. And you just have to get, where do you get it from? Most of the times, and the most studies, they had said and I think that's also what made people bring milk in the breakfast because you're getting the calcium from the milk. Now, when
Right.
you remove that, you have to find out where you're going to get your calcium from. You can get
My
it from
question to you, I know you don't do a lot of milk, so where do you get your calcium from?
vegetables. You have to eat a lot of greens.
Okay.
Yeah. But also you can get from soy. For those who take soy, your soy has to be organic for most of it. I think that's the best we can do with it. So you get
Right.
organic soy and yeah, greens. And also for those who are using beans and seeds, yeah, you get from there.
Okay.
Okay. So that was the bones. I think I finished. Yeah. The other thing also is so you need the calcium for the bones, and skipping breakfast also affects estrogen. This for women, crucial for bones. So you don't have calcium, and now you skip breakfast, which is going to affect the estrogen. So you're just reducing your bones density, and this is the worst thing with bones is you don't see it.
Right.
It's only when we get to the age where you fall, you break a hip. And I heard there is this lady, I can't remember her name. She's a bone doctor. And she says most of the women who get who break their hips, they die within 1 year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like
Wow.
the bones are very, very important. That these are the ones we that holds us straight, right?
Right.
So if we really want to go to 100 years or 90, wherever someone is really expecting to go to in this life, we need strong bones. And
Right.
so if you're not taking something in the morning and you don't have, and you're a woman, you're affecting your bones more than you think.
Right. And
Yeah,
you're absolutely right, because that's the last thing I think about is the
yeah.
bones. Well, and when you think about
Yeah.
it, that's the foundation. When you think
No,
about
we
it,
always thought that how are you going to build your muscles? How are you going to lose your fat? How are you going to, yeah, no one is
never
talking
think
about,
about the bones. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And me, for example, when I used to go out, lift weights and jumping and all that, I'm creating my
Right.
bones. I was conscious I'm really creating my bones because I want to walk and standing as I get to my 90s. And but anyway, I am building and breaking them at the same time. However, exercise is one way also to build bones, stronger bones. So
Mhm.
you eat something in the morning, you don't have to eat a lot of stuff. For those who take yogurts, you can take yogurt. Soy milk has good calcium, you can take that. A banana with peanut, I don't know whether it has a lot of calcium, but I know, for example, sesame
Yeah.
has a lot high calcium as well. So
The
try
cashews, helps calcium.
really.
Cashews, yeah.
Yeah, cashews. You can have calcium, but then it depends how much you have in it. Okay.
Right.
So that is how the body is being affected when you miss your breakfast. But here comes the question: what about fasting? We're always fasting. Me, I'm fasting. I go fasting for 5 days.
Right. Right.
I think twice before I do it now. Okay. Okay. So when we are fasting, the body has that mechanism of, I mean, and as once again, I mean, you have to be very careful when you're fasting.
Uh-huh.
Fasting is not just, I used to do that before. Like I would just like, tomorrow I'm not eating.
Right.
So I will struggle to get to 3 days because I
Gotcha.
just went, cold turkey, tomorrow I'm not eating. And so the brain is not prepared, the body is not prepared for that. So when you do it like a therapeutic way of healing, the soul, the mind, the body, they're aligned. Yes, you're going to lose your bones, but the body is somehow preserving itself. It's not the same way like I missed breakfast and the brain is calling food, 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 food. And it's
Right.
obviously when even when you're fasting, The first 2 days are very, very hard. You have mood swing, you have your, everything is telling you, please, can you eat something? And so
Right.
it's when you have gone through that day that you feel you're not losing much energy. You don't need much energy. You feel less hungry because the body is in psych, knows it's
You know,
preparing
I
itself.
find I find when it's easier to fast for me,
Hmm.
I'm on a set schedule as far as eating.
Yeah.
I try not to eat after 5 every
Okay.
single evening. So I'm
Okay.
on a strict schedule on when I consume food. So it's easier for me to fast when I'm on a schedule. So if I'm randomly eating throughout the day,
Mm.
your system don't know what's going on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. 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 So when you plan that you're going to fast, even if you're going to fast more than, I would say, 36 hours, you
Right,
plan that for a long, ahead of time, so that you're preparing your body. And so when you're coming to fasting, you eat less caloric food. The
right.
body is preparing itself. And I remember this guy who had cancer, and he had to fast for 21 days. He only drank water.
Wow.
And he said during the cancer, because he made his cancer shrink to a certain point, but
Hmm.
he had to use chemotherapy along the way. And when he did the chemotherapy, he lost so much weight than the time he was fasting.
Wow. Okay.
That's
And
funny.
it's
That
very important to add if you guys are going to be fasting, make sure your mental's together first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Make sure
that's
your
for sure.
mental's together first. You can't
Mm,
just
not
go to
just
fasting and you're like that. So nah. Make sure that
I,
mental's together before you start fasting.
yeah, you don't fast when you're stressed up, okay? Or don't fast
Right.
when your situation, your financially, your family stuff, it's not, you don't. You fast when you're really centered, and you have time for yourself, because the mind needs to be fed that. And I remember having this debate with my son. Was like, why are you starving yourself when there is
Hmm.
food? I was like, no, I'm not starving myself. I'm fasting. I was like, and he goes to, yeah, according to Wikipedia, fasting is lack of food. No, no, I mean, did I say again? Starving. Starvation is lack of
Right.
food. And I said, no, it's not the same thing. When you're
No.
starving, you have no food at all, and it's not a choice. Okay? There you're
Right.
starving. Here, when you are fasting, when I'm fasting, I'm cooking for my kids. We can sit at the table, they are eating, I'm drinking my water, I'm good.
Hmm.
But if I go to work, and I past my time of eating my breakfast, I'm asking where's the next shop where I can buy something,
Right.
because the body is not ready for that. So fasting and
Exactly.
skipping meals is not the same time. So at the end of it, what do we do if we want to fast, or we want to skip this meal? We don't want it 3 times a day.
Right.
For women, especially, and I said again for men because of the bones, it's better you skip the meal in the evening. The only thing that you're going to affect when you skip your dinner is the family stuff, because we are more into gathering in the evening. Like here, me, I'm alone in the house. I'm going to do my own stuff. In the evening, I have the kids in the house, and so we can sit down and have that meal. And that would affect a lot of families if the main people who are cooking, or the parents, are not eating. So that's the only way it would affect you. It's not going to affect your body if you don't eat in the evening, but you eat in the morning. Okay,
Exactly.
and
Let's
especially
say
for women, for especially for women.
gotcha. Let's say hi to Al. So I see you over there on Instagram, Al. Appreciate you tuning in this early in the morning here in the States.
Good
Good
morning.
stuff. Good morning.
Yeah.
Al says, let me read his comment here 1 second. Al said, that's good to know for a healthy life. So he's enjoying the program. Good stuff, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good stuff. Good
Yep.
stuff. So what's going on for the rest of the day for you? I know it's cold over there.
Okay. Let me just finish this.
All
Sorry.
right, go ahead.
Okay, fine. For the women who are in reproduction stage, you are not supposed to fast when your progesterone is high because progesterone needs a lot of fuel and energy. Okay.
Hmm.
So to conclude, I'll say every organ of our body operates according to a biological clock that follows 24 hours. It's a circadian rhythm. And even in the cells themselves, they have their own timing. So, eating, especially breakfast, it's not just for the calories. You are aligning yourself with this clock. You're feeding the microbes and the cells, the immune system, your brain. So it is important for us to have that breakfast, to have that fast meal. And even if you're not a breakfast person, take something light within the, let's say, the 1 hour, 60 minutes that you wake up. Take something light and then you can eat your breakfast maybe an hour or two after. But make breakfast an essential meal. It's better to skip your evening meal and don't skip that breakfast. Thank you for me. Thank you for for listening. Thank you for myself because I was so excited with this thing. When I read it, I was like, "This is my next podcast." So
Okay, good stuff.
I'm
Good
so
stuff. Good
I'm so
stuff.
happy. I'm so happy because I think it's just like telling people, please, there are these people, there are these biohackers who we sometimes tend to follow. Like me, I know there are several ones that I have really followed, and they're like, yeah, I only eat a big salad in the day. A big
Hmm.
salad in the day. You're like, okay. But then I understand these people, they use a lot of supplements. Okay.
Right.
And their day is also not made up with digging holes, or, they're having that lifestyle where they don't use a lot of energy. So for women, especially if you're very active, you have to be very careful how you're spreading that energy during the day. Skipping
Right.
breakfast is not always, it's not good as we have found it. And so that intermittent fasting should come into the evening, not in the morning.
Good stuff. Good stuff. As always, you can catch Catherine and I each and every Thursday right here on the Taken Network, streaming live into the States, into France. For me, it's 6 a.m. in the morning. For Catherine, it's around
It's
one
one.
ish,
Yeah, it's
around one
1:47 exactly
one in the
in the
afternoon over in
afternoon.
France. So good
Yeah,
stuff. So
yeah.
I'm trying to figure out which one of us is sacrificing more. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. I am teasing. I am
What do
teasing.
what do you mean by that?
I'm teasing. I'm
You're
teasing.
the one who is breaking your bones more.
Exactly. Nah,
Yeah.
but it's always a pleasure to get the informative information from Catherine because it's very important. Because sometimes she say things that I have no idea. I had no idea. So it's real good stuff, man. Real good stuff. You could always catch us on Spotify or Apple or anywhere you receive your podcast. So and catch us over there. So good stuff, real talk, good stuff. So catch us at tayken.com. That's tayken.com. Or catch Catherine's blogs and everything Catherine, all things Catherine at foodandheal.com. That's food, the letter N, heal.com. And she also
Had
has
a
a book
book,
on breakfast.
and actually I was like, I'm just telling myself, oh yeah, I was talking about breakfast and I forgot to bring my breakfast book.
Exactly. You guys can get that over at Amazon.
Yeah.
Just do the search over on Amazon. You can get it
Yeah, on
worldwide.
Amazon you get Catherine Guédou, and you'll get it there. I also posted it yesterday on the social media, and I'm going to post it again. So it's like now, yeah, that book is necessary. You eat your breakfast. Take that book because it's going to help you a lot. And let's meet here on Thursday. Thank you for tuning in.
Exactly.
And
The title of that book, give them the title.
the best breakfast, the best anti-inflammatory breakfast.
Exactly. Good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great read as always. Great read as always. So good stuff. You guys can get that at Amazon and all places or wherever you receive your books.
Yeah,
I receive your
and
books.
actually, when you get to Amazon, it's also in different Amazon markets. So it's not only on UK, I mean US. So when I post it on my website, I normally put US, but you can type your country and find out if you can get it from that Amazon.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I can actually find it here in the States as far as on the Amazon side of the
Yeah.
States. So I've actually found it there.
Okay. Cool.
So I don't have to just go to the UK and then
Yeah, yeah,
get
yeah,
it. But
yeah. So
yeah,
someone who is in France can buy it from France, and someone who is Germany, UK, they can buy from respective countries.
exactly. Good stuff. Always a pleasure, Miss Lady. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, thank you,
You
thank
want to
you.
close out for us?
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here and listening. I appreciate this time. We appreciate you, and we are doing the best to bring the most informative chapters and
Exactly.
topics that we can get for you.
It's very
And
important to
please,
honestly,
and just a second, and please send the questions. Whatever you're struggling with when it comes to nutrition, please send me the request or the questions. It will be my pleasure to help you.
exactly. This is I do multiple podcasts, but I enjoy this one more because I'm learning each and every week on
Mm,
nutrition and health. And as you guys know, my journey is it's been a journey, but it's been very rewarding at the same time. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So we'll be back
And
here.
if
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I will say this because I know you will say it. I hope you're not going to hate me after, but
Uh oh.
I know you're sitting down there in pain, and I really would say it's honorable. It's honorable to stand up and to say to be there for people when you're really suffering. And I'm sorry for that, and I hope things are going to get
I
better for you.
appreciate that. It'll get better. It'll get better. It's just got to take some time off from the gym and you know, yeah, it'll get better. It'll get better.
Cool.
So I
At least,
appreciate that. That means a lot. Definitely get better. Well, definitely it gotten better with that comment. So there you go.
cool. There.
Good stuff.
quick,
So
quick
until next
recovery for you. Quick recovery for you.
exactly. Until next Thursday here in the States and over in France, we'll see you guys on Thursday. Same
Thank you.
time, same station.